Hey, what's going on YouTube channel? Stars down there again. Go hard, go home. Y'all know what the deal is. We're gonna get into some stuff today, and go over a couple of comments from people. Cause y'all know I do the viewer comments every now and again. I want y'all to keep, dropping the comments, leaving the feedback. Help me go through this experiment over the next 5 to 6 years. See what's going on with this. Today we're gonna talk about some settling type of stuff. And is that really the end goal or the end all or the solution for the whole dating problem or dating scene? Should people just settle? So some of the people's commenting on my page, and I'm gonna go over the comments and then I'm gonna make a couple comments and talk about those things. So before we do that, y'all hit the subscribe button for me. Y'all hit the like button if you want to. I just want the subscribers. Like I said, I ain't never gonna ask y'all for a cash app. I'm never gonna ask y'all to send me money. Don't need that. But just give me the subscribers. That's all I ask for. Keep me motivated that people are paying attention. Yeah. And we keep going from there. And don't forget, here we go too. Also, I'm gonna be doing a video on the man mindset for one of my other people that wrote in to me. So if you want me to do certain videos, leave comments and stuff, let me know. I'm gonna be coming with an email address soon too. I already got one, but I think it's on another page, so I have to get that to y'all later. All right, so let's get into these comments though. All right, here we go. First comment is from a homie. Opinions of some average bros. Shout out to the homie. He got a channel here too, y'all check it out. Actually, there's a video that I was on and I wasn't in it. He did a video with some other people. I'm gonna go get a clip from that video because there was some stuff on there that I thought was important that needed to get put out. But y'all check out his channel. So the video he's talking about here was about the lady. Here she was saying how hookup culture had kind of messed up her life. Y'all can go check that video out if you want to. Not really mess it up, but she just was bored with it. Or she'd done it before and she didn't think that it was for younger women. Okay, so she put that out there. And what my friend here is saying that, she's learned accountability. She likes dick, she likes sex, it felt good, now she has buyer's regret. Because she did admit in the video that she, in her 20s, she hooked up with some people and stuff. She said it wasn't really one night stands. She said that it was like she had a weekend boo and junk. Like, either way, it was hookup junk. But I don't know if she has buyer's regret, but, now he also said there's no such thing as hookup culture. Okay, hookup culture is just something deviants make up to take away the accountability of their choices from them by blaming it on a culture. These are individual choices. I'm not going to say that they're individual choices. I'm not going to say that part because there's a hookup culture. The hookup culture is let me just go ahead and say this right here. What proves that there's a hookup culture is the fact that you got all these red pill coaches and all the other good shit. That's what they train the guys to go into. Because none of them are advocating for marriage or nothing like that. They're teaching you to go out and hook up. They are perpetuating this hookup culture. They are helping it. It exists, homie. But the thing of it is just right here. It's just like the hip hop culture, okay? See, rappers and all these artists have no problem. You need to be down for the hip hop culture as long as you buying albums. But when black people started saying stuff about like, hey, y'all can't come out with nothing that ain't about killing and shooting. Y'all, the kids are emulating this and all this stuff. See, then they lost accountability in that culture also. See, that's the problem with the cultures. When you're in a culture, you have to make sure you're in a culture that's an accountable culture. Red pill culture is not accountable. They would not account for the fact that they actually help hookup culture. The thing they try to talk women out of going into because they train you to go at women a certain type of way. Instead of just becoming a decent guy, a decent enough guy to where, okay, and being out there in the world and being around decent ass women. Not teaching you to do that. They teach you to go to clubs, bars, and hook up and all the other types of pick up people. That's what they teach you to do. If y'all know any different videos, send them to me and I'll look at them and I'll recant what I'm saying. But the majority of them is teaching you that kind of junk. Matter of fact, this homie right here is the one who asked me to critique Lucario in the first place. and Lucario's part of the hookup culture. Him, Coach Greg Adams, AMS, they're all part of the hookup culture. They won't say that, but they are. You're part of the hookup culture. Unless your message is straight up, not that game junking. You got to be doing this and raising her interest. And that to see if the message is that, you going into hookup culture. That's part of that shit. That's not part of the regular other things. You won't hear me talking about that junk on my junk. Because I ain't talking about hookup culture. It's just that simple. But the culture exists. It exists the same way that hip-hop culture exists. Those are not two different things. Some people are going to be saying that. It's probably people blowing up right now. Those two different things. No, the fuck they're not. They're a culture. They're a way of living your life, a lifestyle choice. The same way he just explained that in the first one. About it being lifestyle choices. He said in the first one and the second part, he pretty much said he's right about that, about lifestyle choices. But the lifestyle choices are usually connected to a culture. In most cases. A Christian culture, a person makes different lifestyle choices. If you're not a Christian, you probably make different lifestyle choices from them. If you're homosexual, your lifestyle choices is not the same as a heterosexual person. They're not. You live in a homosexual culture. They live in a heterosexual culture. To me, it's just culture. So, I ain't gonna say it ain't real. Them cultures is real. You just better know where you at. She shouldn't have been in hookup culture. I say that. She'd have kept her ass out of that. But y'all check out that video. Okay, here go the homie Jamil. And he was saying, thanks for replying to my comment, but I don't want my baby mama fam. That's the thing. Okay, yeah. See, now the homie right here, he was saying his baby mama was begging to be with him. I'm like, well, you don't be with your baby mama. But he ain't told me that yet. I understand that you don't want your baby mama, homie. I'm just saying, why not? She was good enough to have a baby with, or was that just something that kind of happened? You see, and if it was something that just kind of happened, I'm going to be honest with you, you're going to start sounding like those women from the doggone Kevin Samuels show to me, and I'm going to tell you that. So, I mean, you sound like them now because it's like, I don't want my baby mama, but you had a baby with her. And it's the same thing those women are saying. And that's why I can't understand about some of the guys. They get on stuff and start saying stuff and saying everything and trying to coach people and everything else, but yeah, y'all gotta clean some of this up. If you don't want your baby mama, I don't think you should be advising other guys. The same way, I don't think that women that don't want their baby daddy should be advising other women. I don't think they should be advising them at all. That's just what I think. It's my personal opinion. Let's move on to the next one. James Kane. What's up, James? I haven't seen a lot of your comments, bro, if you're watching this, so I don't know what this. So I think bros, and then you let this on talk yourself out of women. I think bros be complaining about the linebacker built bitches with extremely high standards. Nah, bro. These guys not complaining about them because here's the deal. I mean, I don't see why they would be, but you could be right. I left you that comment there. But here's the deal. I don't think the guys complaining about the bad built women because nobody does that. They're complaining about the good looking women that are acting a certain type of way with the high standards. And then you got to look at it this way: if the bad built women, let me see, I'm about to come up with something because you can't keep saying people gonna say that's hate language. Bad built. Let me say bad built. That's my new word from now on, y'all. Bad built. If the bad built women, right? BBW, bad built women, you know, have extremely high standards. The non-bad built women are gonna have even higher ones, and that's what people gotta start understanding that too. You know, nobody's complaining about them. You're definitely not the bad built ones. Some people might like that, but most guys ain't complaining about that. Most guys complaining about what's going on in their little group, but I do hear that one. Okay, Robert Shorts, what's up with the homie? Definitely appreciate replying on my comment. My brother, you're definitely a real one. That's why I'm a subscriber. Plus, I'm old as well. And know you and me have had similar experiences when it comes to women. I agree with self-improvement. He got his own business as well, but I was putting out what he says regarding. Okay, he was talking about something that Mr. Lucario said, and I think we started from over here. Cause I made the other video about that one. Yeah, that's right. So okay, Rob. Yeah, he said the only thing I was wrong about is that the Lucario definition of game is self-improvement, business, attraction, skills. All of it comes from his mouth. And you know what? And I can agree to that, homie. I can. But I also want to say this part where I left this right here. His definition of game is not what game is. Okay, a lot of the younger guys, they don't know the true definition of this game thing, okay? Now, Lucario sells self-improvement as game, but those are both polar opposites. I talk about that in the other video, in the that other video, which is the other one? The one you left the other video. Game of self-improvement. I talk about that in that video, okay? And I tell you, yeah, those are both parts. I'm going to do a video for you on that. The video will be called Game of Self-Improvement. Tune in and keep leaving the feedback. And thank you for your comment, okay? And I just want to say, you know what I'm saying, he says agrees, you know what I'm saying, but, you know, and I know what he says. Like I'm saying right here, the thing is that his personal definition of game, of it, doesn't change what it means to the rest of the world. So once you get out there to the rest of the world thinking you got game, you're going to put off creep vibes with certain types of women. Because that's not really what I don't know how to explain it, so I'm going to go on. We'll get there one day. Game is looked at as a negative anytime you step out of Lucario's area, okay? Men have to know this so they can position themselves for success, okay? You got to know that anytime you step out of that doggone arena, I mean, like, y'all, that's game is low level, is level 1 arena. Level 1 through 10. You should be game. That should be over for you by your mid 20s. You should know enough then to be able to talk with women if you've been around enough of them. Because a lot of these guys, they going through all this talking, doing the left. And I went and looked at that. I seen that little program. That's a lot of talking to people. But by that time, you should be able to start. Because I did jump like that. I keep telling y'all. But by the time I was 25, I had that shit mastered. I could be in a place and I know, okay, this right here is this. That right there is that. That right there is that. And I got this one right here. Main one. Then we'll be hanging out with. We could look at something to go towards. So, yeah. But thanks for the comments, Rob. And stay tuned. You got any doggone requests or something, videos you want done? Y'all let me know that, homie. Now, this other one somebody asked me, was Lucario dishonest? Which I didn't really say so. Say no. I didn't really say he is or he isn't. Well, to me, he's not. Or who's watching his channel, they might not get that they're kind of ramshamboing themselves, but that's not that man's issue. You know what I'm saying? But this guy was like, is the sky blue, is water wet? So apparently that's his opinion of Mr. Lucario. So, you know, and some people may view him as dishonest. They may do. I do, but I don't. So, you know, it's dishonest if I look at it from the point of view of, man, those guys, the guys he's teaching, they're going to get what they want. But I don't look at it from that point of view. I look at it from the point of view of, well, man, this dude going to get rich as hell. At least one of them going to be straight. The rest of them won't be, but at least he will be. So, somebody will be straight. That's how I see that situation. Okay. Now, also in that video, we talked about women lowering their standards, which is something Lucario was saying in one of the other videos. Okay. And I have a video on that too, says it's called Stop Asking Women to Settle. Okay. Now, women should lower their standards, this is what the homie is saying, if they truly want companionship and what they are currently doing isn't working. But reality is most would rather have nothing and just dick hop than lower their standards. This is the truth. It ain't no helping them. I just sit back and watch the shit show. Albert Einstein, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So yeah. I mean, I don't think women should lower their standards if they truly want companionship, because if you lower your standards, you're just going to get companionship from somebody that you really don't want. That's why it's just better they don't do it. Because they lower their standards, they might get the companionship and ownership. I don't think that's going to be enough for them. A lot of these guys don't really understand women. A lot of guys really don't understand them. It's just better for them to just not settle. It's better for us for them to not settle. Because you get a chance to smash her out sooner anyway. It's only so many of them that you need to be wives. There's such a surplus of women in the United States. 7 million. 7 million. If you took everybody and matched everybody up right now, it's 162 million males here and 169 million females. And that's actually a bigger number on both sides. I just used the first three numbers because I ain't trying to remember all the other shit. Okay? But if you take 162 from 169, you're going to be left over with 7. Let me make for sure of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me see. That's a 9. There's a 9. And you got to take away 2. Yeah, from that end, 7. I did the math. So, yeah. Yep. 7 million. And look, the other number of the 162 million males, that's before you take out the gay guys, that's before you take out the guys they don't want, the ones they don't find attractive. So that the number of guys are going to get, you know what I'm saying? What guys need to start doing is instead of complaining about this numbers game, because numbers in your favor, it's just better to go ahead and get yourself up as high a level as you can. Because as women date up, as long as you stay at the bottom of the totem pole of society, you ain't never going to get anything you want. Women date up, guys date down. So you need to climb to the top of the hill and then start. So then you got everybody as an option. Now halfway up there, if you want to start messing with some of them, but you can't take that really serious. I mean, let me see what somebody is seeing. Okay, then somebody asked a question, Basir here asked a question, what standards do women have that you think are unreasonable? Any standard that they don't qualify for are unreasonable, the homie says back. I don't apply for a job as a neurologist because I'm not qualified. Now I can apply, but it's a high chance I'm not going to get the job and it'll look delusional for even applying. Women and men can have all and any standards they want, but let's not act like everyone is qualified for those standards. Yeah. See, the problem with that for guys is that our standards for women are extremely freaking low. That's where the problem comes in with that. That's why I say guys can't really tell women to settle because, shoot, you got a rich dude that'll take, look at Russell Wilson and Sierra Williams. Rich dude had access to whatever women he want. Took a baby mama from a rap dude with a million other baby mamas. Is that bad? No. He guess he got what he wanted, but the deal of it is this right here. When you got people like that doing stuff like you can't enforce the rules that these guys are trying to enforce through the red pill, the idea and stuff like that are not going to be enforced on women because you always going to and some of those guys themselves are doing those things. So, any standard they don't qualify, but they don't qualify for what standards by who's saying. We might say, this fat chick, this bad built chick, this bad built woman right here, we might say that she don't qualify. I might say it. The homie right here might say it. Basir right there, he might say the same thing about her. And then there's some guy over here who's a trillionaire that's like, oh, I like him big though. And they go off and get married. You can't tell them what they don't qualify for because you don't know. Our thing is based on attraction. Their thing is based on attraction and resources, but it's higher. It's a higher calling on resources for them because they would decline attraction to get resources. I mean, it is what it is. So their standards are different, and our standards are different. You know what I'm saying? They said, let's be clear, I would never try to convince a woman of this personally, but I'm cognizant enough to see how counterproductive it can be for both men and women to overreach past the SMV. Accurate SMV evaluation is crucial to dating success. Okay, this is true. You know, and definitely so for men. Women can get away with doing some of this shit wrong, guys, and still get somebody. I'm sorry to say it. They don't want to. Nobody wants to see it that way. But that's why I just gave the whole thing about Sierra Wilson Williams or whatever her name is, and now people they're still talking about her because they say, you know what I'm saying, like she just openly too sexy and shit like that, and people got to be trying to defend her. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're a rich dude, you probably shouldn't have to put up with all of that. Maybe he likes it. Maybe he gonna. Every time her baby daddy show up, they got to split from the party. I mean, like, dude, that's too much money to live like that. It's way too much money to live like that. But somebody did it. So, I mean, I can understand if all the men were ironclad on this. The problem is that the women are ironclad on what they are gonna do. They're ironclad on it. That's why guys wind up begging and talking about, please just settle. Women are ironclad about this. I say go around it. Find a hole in the armor. But not kneel down and beg. Never that. Okay. So Bazir says back opinion, you know what I'm saying? I get that analogy. But why not put in a couple of years work to become a neurologist? That's what I'm getting at. And that's what I'm getting at too, man. I just went to a wedding last night, he says. Pretty girl and solid high earning guy. She didn't have to lower her standards. Instead, she just stayed in shape. Plenty of other examples of high earning guys in my friend group. What I'm saying is, why is the advice always lower your standards when it really should be increase your value so you can get what you want? Which I agree with that. So if a girl's really overweight, the advice should be get in shape, not lower your standards. He answers here, honestly, because most people not willing to do the work, and that's exactly what I was going to say too, to increase their value. So it's best if they lower the standards. However, in the perfect world, they should increase their value, but if you have to tell an adult that, you're already talking to a loser. This is the truth. So it's best they get in where they fit in, and you can't save everybody, you just can't. Now, Bazir says they ain't arguing with that part. Yeah, well, that's kind of my point. It's dishonest to think that selling is the optimal thing to do, which it is. It's very dishonest to think that. It only applies if you're not willing to do some work. And that's the problem right there, Basir. People are not willing to do the work the same way he just said it. In the majority of this manosphere and the women don't complain, and the women complain that they just don't want to change. Most of these people don't want to change. They probably could get what they want out of life. They're just not going to do nothing better. So, I know you can't save everybody, but you know, there's 18-year-old kids out here that are impressionable enough to fall for dating coaches' lies. Whereas if they had some solid coaches, they could turn their life around and be a lot more successful. Many of those people can be saved, which is why the lies are dangerous. And the lies are dangerous. This guy right here, like I told him, you know, you know what I'm saying, the lies are further exacerbated when you got an entire community believing in them. And that's a problem. That's why I say the red pill community and the game community, those are problems. Because they believe in like certain aspects that's gonna make you be a creep. You're gonna wind up on one end of it paying for women, or you're gonna wind up on the other end of it always trying to hustle and scheme and mouth move. There's no peace on either end. The peace is on in the middle, where you ain't gotta. You might gotta do a little bit of this and a little bit of this because you gotta date, because you gotta take her. You know, you gotta pay the bills. Or, yeah, a little bit of this and a little bit of this. Peace. Too much of this, no peace. Too much of this, no peace. No peace. Okay? So, I mean, I agree with this guy that a lot of these people are probably just impressionable because they're learning from people that if they knew any better, they probably wouldn't listen to. And, you know, the best one I would say is AMS because he at least talks some about women, you know, progressing and changing over time, and guys having learned about those kind of things also, and someone like having to really kind of better yourself. He ain't really too hardcore. You know, I would put him and Lucario neck and neck because Lucario is way too much on game and mouthpiece. That shit ain't finna save you. You better know what the hell is going on in real life because people are growing and changing. And if you ain't growing and changing and you think that you just gonna keep bullshitting your way through life, whether by bullshitting with women or bullshitting your boss or bullshitting anybody, it's just you're gonna get a rude awakening sooner or later. So, and most men, like I say right here, they're not going to increase their value. They already know they're not. That's why they tell the women to settle. That's why it's not good for the women to do it either. Cause why? Because the other person don't want their shit. I mean, like hell, they may as well go ahead and have fun and get whoever they're gonna get. And then later on in life, if your ass want to do something, that's fine. That's what's happening now anyway. That's what's happening now. That's why you always had these on a lot of these videos. I see guys talking about, oh, they just do what they want for all their life, and then after that they'll take the good guy. Yeah, that's how that works. Because if you ain't got yourself to a certain level, you're gonna miss some of the ones that would have stayed with you. Let me go down here. Let me see here. It's another one. Let me see here. That somebody else was talking about something. Well, they can't really find it. I got a bunch of comments, y'all. And a lot of people been saying all the good stuff. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I was, you know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, and here goes the homie Jamil. You know, he was saying, you know, again, on my video that women hit the wall before men hit the wall before women. Y'all can check that one out too. All right. Now he said women hit the wall before men. Actually, most women in their 20s have kids, and more than one for that than one man. We get better as we get older. I'm 36. I look like I'm 25 still. Women 40 laughing out loud. I just laughed so hard. I think I had a heart attack. No man wants a 40-year-old woman, especially you have your stuff together as a man. I'm gonna tell you like that. That's not right, because you know what I'm saying. At 40 years old, man, if you got your money right and stuff, you live in a whole different area. You live around 40-year-old women that's going to the gym every day. You don't live. See, I think this dude only know about ratchet women, but see, that's the thing. A lot of guys that follow Lucario, that came from Lucario channel and stuff like that, they know about these ratchet bras. This is what he's describing, a ratchet chick. And if he's 36, if he don't get, look, homie, if you watching this, if you don't get up off your ass and get off from where you at right now, by the time you 40, it ain't gonna get no better for you. Nah, no better. This is garbage that you are explaining to me, but I don't deal with this junk, and that's what I'm trying to keep other guys from having to deal with. Last game and swag is the thing a man can have money with no swag and won't get not one woman unless she's a hooker. That's it. See, that's what I'm trying to tell you. When you get outside of this, outside of the ghetto chicks, that swag shit goes away. It's not they see. I don't know how to explain to this guy. Money is one thing, game is another. Explain Pookie and Ray Ray. Those are guys with no jobs in the streets and have women, but ghetto hoes though. See, that's the difference. See, you're not placing enough value on yourself to look at this and say, this right here, this 20-year-old, this too many kids, you shouldn't even be running into that. At 36, you shouldn't even be running into that. I don't run into that until I go to the hood. But on my side of town, you don't see 20-year-old chicks with no 3, 4, 5, 6 kids. You don't. I know for a fact I had a job making $70K and couldn't get a woman. They said the same thing. Swag, he didn't have no game. He said, okay. Oh, and confidence. Well, see, that's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. If you're dealing with certain types of women, right? Well, if they said something about your confidence, that's something different. That's something different. See, y'all think swag game and all that shit is confidence. That's not. Your confidence level has to do with you and your personal feeling about yourself. It's got to do with your personal feeling about yourself. How you are. Most guys have not. At 36, let me see here. 70K, couldn't get a woman. They said swag and confidence. I'm telling you, bro, if you making $70,000 a year, you talking to the wrong fucking women. 70 grand, that's only 30K short of fucking, and you were out about 36. That's only 30K short of a fucking 100,000, which is what most of them be going shooting for anyway. If you was talking to the bottom level women, man, y'all gotta stop that too. That shit gotta stop. Look like the homie was just explaining it here in the other one. The other guy when he was saying he went to that wedding. It's a certain level of woman that you gotta be looking for this, but this right here, 20s and a bunch of kids, one more than one man, that's in the hood, bro. I know where that's at. That's rare to catch that. Go to the other side of town. Go to the other side of town. Find where the black people with money live at around you. If you make 70K, you need to go find some friends that make 100K. And go hang around with them in their areas. Because that's enough of a gap where you could kind of fit in with them. But you need to get into like the higher like area of women, because what your explanation of it, I don't even deal with that. You know what I'm saying? The man hit the wall first, because you're gonna get judged on money. She just gonna get judged on looks. About 40, she could still be looking good if she's staying in the gym, like, you know what I'm saying? We just talking about and you just said it your own self about the kids. She ain't really got no kid, and she's staying in the gym and shit, because some of them are doing that too. You probably won't ever get in touch with those types if you don't do some of the other stuff that I'm telling you about. Number one, stop shopping in the ghetto. If this is what you seeing, you in the ghetto. The ghetto areas, them clubs and bars and shit. If you go into clubs and bars and you ain't paying like $50 to get in the door or $30 to get in the door, you know what I'm saying? And there's people inside there sagging their pants and shit. Your ass is in the hood. If you hanging around people that's got on Fendi and Prada and you know that they can't fucking afford it, your ass is in the hood. You need to find you somewhere to hang out. Like, okay, like the one bar I like hanging out right here in my town of Dothan, Alabama, it's called the Recovery Room. It's right by a hospital and a doggone medical school. It's where the doctors and the nurses and all that stuff hang. I hang out there. I don't see girls that's been 20 with a bunch of kids because, you know what I'm saying? I see their ass when I go to the hood. I see it when I go to the gangster clubs. Could I go over there too? I see it there. Tattooed up bras and junk. I mean, like, but you don't see that junk on the other side. So you gotta find somebody with a real life and a real job too. Before you all this game and swag and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're not gonna have it to the women you described. You're not gonna have game and swag to them. You're not going to. I wouldn't. And I told him you were probably talking to ghetto women. Those are only women who go out to swag. And I'm gonna see what this guy's gonna say about his baby mama. I hope he writes me back and tells me about that because I want to see, you know, how that works out. But either way as it goes, guys, you know what I'm saying? Because here go the homie again. Because he's telling me that red pill content doesn't teach men to chase women. Focus on your path. It teaches men to be on that purpose, hit the gym, prove self, then go for a woman. See, here's the problem with that. And there's no problem with that part of it. You know what I'm saying? Because some people say that I have a lot of the same talking points as like Lucario and some other people. But that's because we're talking about the same subject. But the thing of it is right here. These guys, they're not really doing that. What I see on them shows, bro, is more pretty much pickup artist shit than really telling you, hey, look, you gonna if you want this right here, you're gonna have to become this. The only one I really ever seen do that was Kevin Samuels. The rest of them are telling everybody women need to settle and all the other good shit, and that ain't finna happen. That's the problem with the red pill content. It's saying that women need to settle, that this and that, and you know what else? Women need to settle. Women got jobs. You know, they have problems with things that are gonna force you to, in order to defeat these things, you have to turn back the time clock on shit. They complain about the marriage laws, but if you really look at it, the marriage laws are written as like who's the breadwinner. That's how I tell you, like people like Mary J. Blige, she had to pay all that doggone alimony and shit for like 2 years. Y'all can look that up. Whoever the breadwinner pays. So it's like shit, whoever getting the most money in that shit pays. So you ain't gonna get robbed if you make less. But if you make more and you get married, you already know what it is. So then you just don't have to do it. But they complain about it. It is like, it's not a complaint, it's just a fact. It is a fact. But if you're a man, you sometimes just have to accept facts. And men wrote those rules. Most of the red pill guys are very contradictory too. They'll go ahead and tell women that men built the world, men made the patriarchy, this and that, and they built everything that women do, but they don't go ahead and explain that. Men pretty much wrote all the rules. Especially here in the United States, there's not one woman that they have founding fathers here. There's not one woman that signed that doggone Constitution. Not a damn one. I don't think they let the women make any of the damn laws. Not a damn one. So the laws we're living by definitely were written by men. And I can see why they would write the marriage laws that way. Because you got some people that, you know, these guys don't really want to better themselves. And they will have a woman. Women are a hot commodity, man. You got to keep some kind of dealing with them. Even the government. That's why they deal with women more than they do men to me. They try to help women more than they do men. Women are a hotter commodity to the government. Just like they are to men. We'll get into that one later. I'm going to get out of here, y'all. It's been Taurus Down and Go Hard, Go Home. Y'all hit that subscribe button, hit the like. Let me know what y'all be thinking. Like I said, keep the comments up and keep the feedback coming. And I hit y'all up. And request if y'all got any. I'm out.